Hey guys, it's Sasha. Interactive Brokers have just launched a brand new ISA account in the UK. This brand new ISA is extremely interesting and might just be the best stocks and shares ISA in 2022. In fact, in my opinion, it is the best one. However, in true Interactive Broker style, the pricing for this new ISA is somewhat complicated. So it is cheap, but it is really hard to actually understand how cheap it is. And in this video, I will walk you through exactly how much this new ISA costs, explain all the details and some of the unique features that the Interactive Brokers ISA has that other accounts do not have. Just in case you're wondering, this video is a genuine review and is not paid for or sponsored by Interactive Brokers. They don't even know I'm doing this video. This is just me sharing my personal opinion. I have an affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment for anyone who wants to try it out, but I have affiliate links for every other investing platform out there too. In this video, I will tell you all the good things and share some bad things about the Interactive Broker Stocks and Shares ISA as well. And I will compare it to the most popular ISA option in the UK so you can decide if you think it is better or worse. So let's start with the pricing, because that's probably the thing that you want to know most about. And it is also the thing that is most difficult to understand because Interactive Brokers haven't done very much marketing of this product, and the marketing that does exist is somewhat confusing. There is this page that tells you actually very little. It just says low commissions. Our commissions are just £3 or €3 per trade for UK and most European stocks, while US stocks start from just half a cent per share. Now, you can also click on this FAQ section, which is actually very handy. And then if you want to understand the pricing, you have to click the link in question 14 over the FAQ, which takes you to the overall pricing tables. And there are a lot of tables. So I do not blame anyone who gets pretty confused. How much exactly does this ISA cost? Well, I'm going to break it down for you. Unfortunately, I do not have this ISA because I am with a different provider this financial year. And so I am unable to open one. But I have had some people in the Discord community help me out, so hopefully this is going to be very, very accurate. The Interactive Brokers ISA works differently to their regular investing account. With the regular investing account, you can keep your money in different currencies within the account, which means you don't have to pay foreign exchange fees every single time you trade. I do have one of those accounts and I've used it quite a lot. With the ISA, the rules in the UK say that you can only keep cash in pounds. So the ISA works as a GBP cash account type. This means that you always have to keep your money in the account as pounds, and that means that you have to exchange money into dollars if you want to buy US stocks every single time you trade, which is different to their other account. So in a normal IBKR account, you have to convert your pounds into dollars before buying US stocks, and then after you've converted it, then you can use those dollars to buy US stocks. And in this one, that actually happens automatically in the background. But here is the seriously cool thing. The fee for converting money is incredibly cheap. They have set it to just 0.03%. This is ridiculous. It is 15 times cheaper than the free trade foreign exchange fee, 15 times cheaper. You can see the example at the end of the FAQs. If you convert £1,000 into dollars, the cost is just 30p. The same fee on free trade would be £4.50. But wait, it gets even better. Like free trade, which seems to be the most popular ISA out there at the moment for new accounts, Interactive Brokers charge £3 per month for you to use the ISA. So those two are kind of the same on the surface, but the really cool thing is that if you do any transactions with Interactive Brokers, the first £3 worth of fees that you spend are included within that fee, so you don't have to pay extra. So you won't pay £3 plus all the fees. The first £3 of any fees that you incur in a month basically get written off. Okay, so now let's talk about those transaction costs, because transaction costs on Interactive Brokers are actually quite complicated. The fact is, they are incredibly cheap, but very complicated. I will explain them briefly and then I'll show you a few examples. Now, if you want a full detailed breakdown of how these fees work on Interactive Brokers, I will put my Interactive Brokers review video in the description and up here. So feel free to watch it afterwards for more detail. Okay, so Interactive Brokers has two different ways that you can pay fees, tiers and fixed. And I checked in my Discord community because some people in there already have their ISA with Interactive Brokers and I do not. And you can go and choose which of those two structures you like, even with the ISA, which I thought would not be the case. Now, just remember, you can't just keep switching between them willy-nilly as and when you want. It takes a full day to propagate for that option to be enabled, so generally you'll probably tend to stick with one or the other. They work in slightly different ways, but the long and short of it is that both fee structures are very cheap. For smaller transactions, in general, the tiered pricing is going to be cheaper. For example, if you're trading US stocks. This will be different if you're buying stocks based in other countries because they all have slightly different pricing structures. I'll cover the ETF bit a bit later. But I predominantly, for example, invest in US stocks, and I know that a lot of you watching may also be investing in US stocks, so that's where I'm going to be focusing attention. If you're interested in something else, please go and check these same tables. The fixed pricing structure charges 0.5 cent per share to transact, but there is a $1 minimum and a 1% maximum. And that 1% maximum supersedes the $1 minimum, according to point 7 in the notes. So that means that the most you will ever pay using the fixed fee is 1%. But if you're buying more than $100 of stock, it pretty much is going to be $1 per transaction, pretty much regardless of how much it is that you're buying. With tiered pricing, you pay two fees. You pay 0.35 cents per share in commission with a 35-cent minimum, and then you also pay the exchange fee. So there's two things that add up together. With the tiered pricing, for most transactions, you will just pay 35 cents to Interactive Brokers because you have to buy over 100 shares to go above the minimum. And even if you're buying a $10 stock, 100 shares is $1,000, and most people probably will not be making transactions above that per single trade in their ISA if you're making regular deposits. Now, the exchange fees look pretty complicated, but it's actually really quite simple. If you place a market order, so the transaction executes immediately, it will cost another 0.3 cents per share. If you place any pending order, like the limit order, you get paid 0.21 cents per share back. Just be careful, if you place a limit order that executes immediately, it still counts as a pending order. So if the share price, for example, is $10, and you go and place a limit order and you set the buy price to $11, because in that case, the transaction executes immediately because you are happy to pay above what the current price is, you're still going to pay that 0.3 cents per share fee. But if you place a pending order for just $9 and then you wait for the share price to drop to $9 and it does, then you will get that rebate. So let's presume you just buy using market orders to keep things simple. If you do limit orders, it's going to be even cheaper. Let me show you a few examples of how much it will cost you to buy shares in this ISA. Let's start small, and let's say you want to buy 2 shares of Fiverr, for example, a stock that I am invested in. Let's round Fiverr's share price up to $70 and keep it very simple. If you're buying 2 shares, it'll cost you $140. By the way, the Interactive Brokers ISA does let you buy fractional shares as well if you want to. I'm just using whole numbers here to make the examples easier. So 2 shares of Fiverr using the fixed pricing tier will cost you that $1 minimum per transaction plus the 0.03% foreign exchange fee, which is another 4 cents. So your total cost here will be $1.04. If you use tiered pricing, the same transaction will cost you 35 cents as the minimum commission fee because you're buying less than 100 shares, and then you pay that extra 0.3 cents per share for the exchange fee, times 2 shares rounds up to about 1 cent. And then the same 4 cent foreign exchange fee. So you'll be paying 35 cents plus 1 cent plus 4 cents for a whole grand total of 40 cents for that transaction. So 40 cents of $140 is about 0.29%. So even for a relatively small transaction like this, which is about £100 worth, you're paying a whole lot less than even on Free Trade, who are the most popular new ISA out there by the sounds of it. And these fees become a whole lot cheaper if you're making larger transactions. So if you're going higher, the difference becomes much bigger. Let's say, for example, you're just buying 1 share of Tesla. So let's round it up and let's assume the Tesla share price at the moment is $850. The tiered price on Interactive Brokers would be 35 cents plus 0.01 cents for the exchange fee. I don't know exactly what they do with 0.3 cents. Maybe they ignore it, maybe they round it up, whatever. But anyway, plus foreign exchange fee of 0.03%, which is another 26 cents. So that 1 share of Tesla at $850 will cost you 35 plus 1 plus 26 equals 62 cents in total. And that is 0.07% in fees. So buying 1 share of Tesla for $850 costs 0.07% in this ISA compared to 0.45% on Free Trade. So that's about 6 times cheaper. But remember, these fees actually come out of your monthly ISA fee. So if you say deposit £750 into your ISA in 1 month, which is about $990, and you go and, for example, buy 1 share of Tesla and 2 shares of Fiverr, the 2 examples that I just looked at, then your fees will be 40 cents for those 2 Fiverr shares and 62 cents for the Tesla shares. So the total of your fees will be $1.02. And that total is a lot less than the £3 per month fee that you have to pay. So you actually don't have to pay those fees at all. Those transactions are essentially free because they are within your £3 buffer. A free trade, that $990 worth of shares will cost you $4.46 in fees because they charge 0.45% foreign exchange fee. So that is about £3.41. So with free trade, you're going to pay the £3 monthly fee plus £3.41 in those additional fees compared to just the £3 fee for Interactive Brokers. So in that example, free trade will be more than 2 times as expensive. Now, if you want to buy ETFs, remember that the minimum cost per transaction for the London Stock Exchange is £1. So that's going to be higher. But even if you just want to invest in the S&P 500, whether you're depositing £10 a month, £100 a month, or £1,000 a month, the fee will still be less than the £3 you get waived every month. So if you're buying VUSA, the cost will be exactly the same as with free trade, except you get to have an account with a much more established company, and in my opinion, a company that has significantly better support. I have used their support multiple times, and you don't have to wait for 2 days for somebody to reply to one of your messages. You can speak to a person right away instead, and they've in general been extremely helpful. So I hope that you can see that in most typical examples, like the ones that I've just shown you, Interactive Brokers is a much cheaper and much better option, in my opinion, than what we've had available on the market before. And Interactive Brokers also has a vastly bigger number of stocks that you can invest in. The company is one of the biggest investing companies in the world, with a solid balance sheet and extremely good reputation. So I personally am starting my new stocks and shares ISA in the new financial year with Interactive Brokers for these reasons, because in my opinion, it is by far the best option out there. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you guys later.